Oh, hello. Today's video is going to be another installment in the very irregular series, the Tabletop Impulse Discord Community Showcase. In this case, a festive community showcase. What's festive about it? One person painted the red gobbo, and it's the 20th of December, so that counts as festive. Let's go. So we're going to start with Gru's red gobbo. Now, I don't know where I stand on red gobbos, right? As miniatures, I don't really like them. I'm old and tired, and I remember when Games Workshop didn't acknowledge the real world. And we're going to mention this again in this very showcase. Games Workshop didn't acknowledge the real world within its own universe, and that started to happen a bit more and more. And so I'm not the biggest fan of the red gobbo as a... I'm not the massive fan of the red gobbo as an idea. I liked the red gobbo when he was this weird little communist Gretchen revolutionary, and not now he's sort of pseudo Santa Claus. But none of that can take away from how amazing this paint job is. Like, Gru's done a really good job. I want to first draw your attention to the dynamite stick. The dynamite stick, which I feel is weirdly the focal point of this miniature. Just the really smooth, like cylinders, flat cylinders are really hard to get to look good because you have to do all the work on a cylinder. There's not a piece of detail, like you can edge hard at the top and the bottom edges, I guess, but on the actual body of the cylinder, so putting in that nice little orange top highlight and the fact that it's nicely kind of blended down into the quite dark red, and the fact that the dynamite, although it's red, it looks like a very different red tonally to the Santa hat that me and the red gobbo are both sporting, and the Santa cloak and the little Santa boots. Really, really like it. I really like how that the fizzing wick right on the dynamite looks really realistic as well, and it looks like something that it looks like it's something that's alive. The gobbo himself, the skin looks really, really good. Like I said, the highlighting on the underside of the hat where it goes into that sort of more muted tone, and the fact that it's kind of highlighted in a way that's different to the dynamite, so it doesn't have any orange in it, it's kind of going into a sort of more muted faded red, is really, really cool. Okay. The next thing that draws my eyes is really the base. Look at the snow and the ice, right? Now, it's easy to do snow. You just shove some snow in a bottle on the miniature, and it looks really good. And Gru's not done that. Gru's painted this stuff, and you've got kind of the deepness of that icy blue in there. It looks really amazing. The brickwork, right? The brickwork on the chimney and the roof tiles, each little crack is painstakingly highlighted, right? So it's not just relying on a wash to do the work to show the crack. The cracks have each been painstakingly highlighted, which makes it look like light is actually bouncing off the chimney from in front of the miniature. These are all things that I could not be bothered to do. So these are all things that I'm going to credit for. The little citadel paint pots in the snow, the fact that they've painted in such a way they actually look like they might have a liquid paint inside them. This is a very impressive little character miniature. Even while I don't actually, personally, I'm someone that doesn't buy the red gobbo. I bought it the first time round, but I don't get the hype. But hey, if you have the little tradition that Games Workshop wants you to have of painting a red gobbo every year, you could certainly do a lot worse than this. Is a really fantastic paint job. This is actually last year's red gobbo, isn't it? Because this year's has a big snowman on. But this is really, really cool. So well done, Gru, and I'm really pleased and proud to be able to feature your miniature as one of the contributions from my community. That poor sod has painted his blooded kill team, which he's named Cadia's Last and Final. So these are really cool. It's as far as I can tell, it's the stock blooded miniatures, but they're painted in that very traditional, I think, is it the Cadian 101st, right? The tan and green that they use for all of the box art for the Cadians. These look really, really, really cool. Okay, I like that you've tied them into Cadia, and they're actually not miniatures that that have to be from any particular regiment, the bloodied, right? But this is really cool. I like the way you've tied them back. I like the little touches that you've got on there. You know, yes, there's some definitely some areas for improvement on some of the tunics and the fabric. You can see where the contrast or wash that you've used has pooled a little bit, but I really like the little extra touches. The plasma guns, the glow effects come out really, really well. That's really, really nice. The Ogrin looks amazing. Like, the Ogrin for me is the standout piece in the picture. Just the head and chest area of the Ogrin, I think, are really, really well done. And hopefully, like, because I mean, I've been painting a lot of Star Wars Shatterpoint stuff recently, which is slightly big, not as big as an Ogrin, but it's slightly bigger than 40k, and you can really tell that when you're given that Possod a slightly bigger canvas to work on of the Ogrin's head, it understands exactly how heads should be painted. So hopefully, with that extra bit of practice, we can bring down that bring the theory into all the other models. But I really like the way that Ogrin's come out. It looks fantastic. I love the flag on the back of the Commissar's back. The sort of the nice big area of shadow in the fold, right? And I love the power fist as well. You can really tell that real time has been lavished on these two, the two characters, right? A really cool team. Green base rims is an interesting choice. I like the standard black base rim. I think it would sort of contrast the model more. But I can understand if what you want to do is sort of really hammer home the idea that they are soldiers in a jungle in camouflage. I can understand wanting to go for the green base rims as well. Really good work there, that poor sod. Now, Matthew Poole has posted his Mandrake kill team in the showcase channel. I'm pretty sure, Matt, that you entered these for the Evil Kill Team painting challenge. You've already received kind of praise and feedback on them. But hey, we'll do it again. This team is really, really beautiful, actually. I haven't looked at this in a little while, I'm reminded of how good this team is. Especially that Starscape on the wing there of, I forget his name, but you all know who I'm talking about, right? And the way that the glowies on the bases and in the fire just seems to light the whole model. Like, it's a really interesting effect because there's not actually, if you look, there's no actual object source lighting going on. There's not any green paint on the model glowing off the fire. But the way he's managed to get just so much value contrast in between his fire and the rest of the miniature, they do genuinely look to my brain like they're luminescing, which is really, really cool. I also like the red fire on the leader as well, and it's a really good important way because one criticism to the Mandrake miniatures is that it's sometimes quite hard to pick out certain models, so using paint to help you differentiate the miniatures and be like, well, this is this guy, this is this guy, this is this guy, is also really clever. So great work there, Matthew Poole. But you know this because we've already done this dance, right? That poor sod has also painted a necromantic horror Blood Bowl team. Now, this is another thing where I'm going to get a little bit. This has got nothing to do with that poor sod's paint job, which is superb, and I'll talk more about it in a minute. I really don't like these miniatures. I know Blood Bowl has always been a bit silly, but again, I just remember thinking when these came out, these are just very real world American like movie Halloween, right? If there's a kids movie from Hollywood set over Halloween, it's just got a lot of the visual cues that are used in this team, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It just you could easily put, if you put these, if no one had seen them before, and if you put them up on a website and you said which miniature manufacturer has made these, right? I would think it was someone that was ripping off Blood Bowl. They don't feel like they are very Warhammer. They feel like they're something else. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. And I want to say that poor sod's done a really good job of painting them. Doing stripes on Blood Bowl kits is really chuffing difficult. And so I think it really deserves credit on the scarecrows, on the skeletons, on the zombies, those bold black and purple stripes on the uniforms. They look absolutely crisp and perfect, and I really, really enjoy them. I also like the shading on the ghosts, the way the ghosts manage to go down from like pure white down to what looks to be almost pure black on the same miniature, just punching in that contrast. I'd be scared to do that. I'd be scared to take them down that dark in the shadows, but that poor sod has absolutely made it work. Right, and he's made a miniature that I think looks pretty rubbish, look really cool because of the paint. So big fan of these, and the bases. Oh, I know that's probably just a product. That autumn foliage is probably just a product, and it's not actually a skill expression. But like, it just totally sets off what these are. That sort of American Hollywood. Halloween with the autumn leaves, going into that whole thing. It is a perfect accompaniment, and the composition is perfect. And I love the choice to do the purple as well, and to do the crows purple as well, just to tie them into the rest of the team. Really, really splendid Blood Bowl team. Which, if I play Blood Bowl, be really pleased to have these on the pitch opposite me for sure. Now this is really special. So big friend of the channel, big pillar of the Tabletop Impulse community is Major Tom. Right, always in every live stream, very vocal, active on the Discord. His daughter is interested in miniature painting, not necessarily Warhammer, but getting into it with the Harry Potter miniatures line from Night Models, who are perhaps more well known for doing the Batman miniatures. Right now, Night Models is a weird company because their miniatures look gorgeous, but they're just very sporadic with what they release and what they support and what they do with rules. So, bearing all this in mind, I don't remember exactly how old Major Tom's daughter is, but I have fixed in my brain that it's primary school. I think junior school, right? So I think we're looking, somewhere between 6 and 10. I think. It's really good. Like, this is a challenging model for anyone to approach, because trying to get black cloth and like 2 black cloth surfaces to look good and not just like a weird blob is hard, right? And I know adult miniature painters that struggle with that, and it's one of these things when you're doing a property like Harry Potter, like Star Wars, like any of these properties, where the miniatures game is being based on an IP where actually the characters weren't designed to look good as a miniature, right? If you look at Games Workshop stuff, and especially their stock colour schemes, they won't tend to have black next to a different black often, because they're designed to be good things to paint that look good when they're painted. So getting this level of like technical skill into your blacks at a young age is really good. Like, yeah, the skin is a bit patchy, right? Light colours are really hard, but then Voldemort has this weird thing going on with his skin anyway that trying to recapture that, which I think is what's trying to happen here, is going to result in, unless you're an exceptional painter, it's going to result in this kind of look. And it looks pretty good. We've done some technical effects with the magic coming out of the wand, right? I think that's possibly going to be a contrast paint job, that green, or the old pseudo contrast like the Hexwave Flame technical maybe, or the Ghost Blaster one that's technically not a contrast paint, could be that. And again, really good to learn and practice those skills. And then we got the base. The base is really interesting, so a lot of work gone into the base to try and make it look like a particular kind of a cobblestone street. That's really, really good. The one thing that annoys me about this miniature, nothing to do with the painting, right? This is just going to turn into Mr. Tabletop Impulse critiques companies' miniatures. Voldemort here needs to be on a bigger base. For what he is, the stature he has, the pose he's in, he looks like he wants to be on a bigger base. Matthew Poole has painted a Blood Angel. It's not Blood Angels, is it? It's Blood Ravens. I've written Blood Angels in the slide, but it's Blood Ravens, right? A Blood Ravens Terminator captain. Now, loads of things to like about this. You know, the freehand Blood Ravens symbol on the. He's got 2 tilting shields. On one of his 2 tilting shields, anyway, is really, really cool. The blue glow on the Thunder Hammer, I think, is really accomplished as well. But what I like most of all, I don't know whether it's dry brushing, I don't know whether it's weathering powders, but the dustiness to the feet and the bottom half of the lower legs, I think, is really awesome. And my eye is really being drawn to it, right? Now, I'm looking at the base, I'm trying to work out what I'm looking at, what the blue thing is that's been very heavily highlighted. Is that a chunk of Tyranid? It could be, but it's a really cool model. Really, really cool. Bionic Man's posted me up his Raptors kill team. I feel like I've reviewed these before as well, Bionic Man. Am I wrong? Right, but I feel like I've looked at these before. Bionic Man's Raptors are superb. Like, flawless. Like the composition of the bases with those plastic little ferns that he's got from somewhere. The freehand of the individual kind of squad markings on the kneecap where, you know, one's got the yellow stripe, one's got the yellow, the 2 intersecting yellow jagged bits, the little bit of yellow freehand on the chainsword. All these little elements really, really set it off in my mind's eye, and they just look awesome, right? Very hard to give you any notes at all on these. Hard for me to pick a flaw on them. They look great. And if any faction in 40k can get away with using black leather instead of brown leather, it's the very sensible Raptors as well, isn't it? So, no, they look really cool. Matthew Poole's painted Killzone Beta Decima recently. It looks amazing. It looks like a carbon copy of the studio paint job. I wish I could get motivated to paint one of my Killzones. This is something I really struggle with. Games Workshop don't put it on the bingo cards, right? Maybe I should make one of the hobby challenges this year. Instead of 3 kill teams, it should be 2 kill teams and paint a Killzone. I don't know. Like, painting terrain's not. It's not real fun, it's not like really appealing, but playing on painted terrain does make you enjoy the game more, and I think Matthew's done an amazing job here of really matching in to that printed board. Absolutely top-notch Beta Decima there. I think that's amazing. So, again, well done, man. And then Bionic Man, again, with some Aquilons. Really love the extra work that's gone into the bases here. You know, the bits of razor wire and things like that. The texture that's built up around the base. Not just leaving it to the bits that Games Workshop had already put there. I love the colour scheme. Very classic, like, Scion-style colour scheme with the red helmets. Or helmets in this case, right? But I think a really, really cool colour scheme. I really like the face on the. Is it the Preceptor with a knife? The lady blonde is strong, right? And I like the bare head on the sergeant as well. Really, really good. And the highlighting on these is flawless. Like, it's perfectly straight, perfectly crisp. Exactly what we like to see. So again, surprised by and blown away by the standard of hobby on display in my community. And that's it. So, you know, hopefully you enjoyed that. This is something I like to do every so often, right? And we have a specific channel on the Discord for the Community Showcase where people can post things that they give me permission to comment on and praise and critique in a video just like this. And if you want to join the Discord is free. The link's down in the description, and post your stuff into the hashtag Community Showcase channel, and away we go. I want to say Merry Christmas. I'm going to do more videos before Christmas, don't worry. I hopefully play my first game of Lord of the Rings tomorrow evening, and so we'll be reviewing that hopefully on the channel pretty soon. Other things that I want to get done and want to do, and hobby challenges and things that need to be rounded off and launched, and maybe a few more Kill team reviews in there as well. It's a bit of a weird one, Christmas, a bit of a weird time of year, for maintaining a regular upload schedule. So please do bear with me. We'll hit the ground running again January the 6th when everything gets back onto an even keel. But until then, I'll see you in the next one, whenever and whatever that may be. Hope you're having a great time. I hope everybody is now, hopefully, I've done my last day of work of 2024 today. Hopefully, some of you are in the same sort of situation. I know not everybody is as lucky as I am to get, the 2 weeks holiday. Some people only get a day here and a day there, and I do really appreciate everybody who's doing jobs, working in hospitals, working in shops and hot restaurants and fire service, and police, and all those things that are either vital and can't close, or that everybody else relies on to enjoy their holiday time and therefore can't close either. Hospitality, all the people that are going to have a mad one because of all of us coming for our meals out and all the rest of it. So whatever you're doing, hopefully, I hope and pray that you're resting and relaxing with friends or family. But if you are someone in one of these sectors that is working really hard, then just thank you so much as well. And I'll see you next time. Have a great one. Bye bye, cheery bye, bye bye bye.